Harrison Ford is known for his calm nature and powerful screen presence. But even legends have limits. Behind the scenes, he is not always the friendly hero fans imagine. Over his long career, Ford worked with many actors some he liked, but others he could not stand. From lazy work habits to big egos, certain co-stars pushed him to his breaking point. This list reveals the top 7 actors Ford reportedly disliked the most. These are not just rumors, the tension was real, and, in some cases, public. You will be surprised who made the list and why Ford never wanted to work with them again. Before we dive into video, please subscribe our channel. Harrison Ford was born on July 13, 1942, in Chicago, Illinois. His father was an advertising executive, and his mother was a former actress. Growing up, Ford was a quiet and shy child who did not show much interest in acting at first. He attended Ripon College in Wisconsin, where he studied philosophy. During college, he took a drama class just to overcome his shyness. Surprisingly, he enjoyed it and began to think about acting more seriously. After college, Ford moved to Los Angeles in hopes of finding work in movies. However, success did not come easily. He got small, uncredited roles in the beginning and often struggled to pay bills. To support his family, he became a self-taught carpenter, building furniture for extra money. While working as a carpenter, he met famous directors like George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola. These connections helped him slowly get noticed in the film industry. Ford's big break came with George Lucas' film American Graffiti in 1973. This role opened the door to Star Wars and later Indiana Jones. But behind that fame was a long journey full of rejection, odd jobs, and patience. Ford's early life proves that persistence can lead to greatness. Harrison Ford's rise to fame was not quick or easy. After years of working small roles and doing carpentry to survive, his big opportunity finally came when he was cast in American Graffiti by George Lucas. That small role caught attention, but true stardom arrived in 1977 when he played Han Solo in Star Wars. The film was a massive success, and Ford became a global icon almost overnight. However, fame brought new struggles. Ford was still seen by some as a lucky outsider, not a serious actor. He had to prove himself again with Indiana Jones in 1981, where he did many dangerous stunts and pushed himself physically. He also faced pressure to maintain his star image and deal with media attention, which he never enjoyed. Behind the scenes, Ford was known to clash with directors and actors if things were not professional. He had high standards and expected the same from others. This led to some on-set tensions, but also earned him respect as a hardworking actor. His journey was filled with rejections, injuries, and doubts. But Ford kept going. Through talent and tough determination, he turned from an unknown carpenter into one of Hollywood's most respected stars. Now, we talk about 7 actors he disliked the most. Number 1. Josh Hartnett. It may come as a shock, but Harrison Ford had serious issues with actor Josh Hartnett during the filming of Hollywood Homicide, 2003. At first glance, both seemed like a promising on-screen duo. Ford, the legendary veteran, and Hartnett, the rising young star. But behind the scenes, their personalities clashed badly. Ford was known for his discipline, punctuality, and no-nonsense attitude on set. In contrast, Hartnett was seen as laid back, often showing up late, unprepared, and unfocused. This deeply irritated Ford, who believed professionalism was non-negotiable. According to reports, he found Hartnett immature and careless about the craft of acting. Their communication reportedly became so cold that they would barely speak unless the cameras were rolling. Crew members said the tension between them was impossible to ignore. Ford later described the film as one of his most frustrating experiences. What makes this shocking is that Ford rarely speaks out against co-stars, but in this case, his dislike was hard to hide. Audiences noticed the lack of chemistry on screen, and now they know why. Josh Hartnett may have looked like a perfect match, but for Harrison Ford, He was one co-star he hoped to never see on set again. Number 2. Sean Young. Sean Young and Harrison Ford starred together in the sci-fi classic Blade Runner, 1982. But their off-screen relationship was anything but futuristic harmony. While the film portrayed a complex romance between their characters, real life told a much colder story. Ford reportedly found Sean Young difficult to work with, calling her unprofessional, overly dramatic, and emotionally unpredictable. Their lack of connection became a serious problem during filming, especially during romantic scenes that demanded chemistry. According to insiders, Ford dreaded working with her. He felt she constantly overacted and refused to take direction seriously. Things got so tense that their iconic love scene was later described by crew members as ice cold and awkward, with both actors doing it only because the script demanded it. What shocked many fans was how different their on-screen connection felt once they learned the truth. Behind the camera, there was no warmth, no friendship, just tension and silence. Sean Young herself admitted later that the experience wasn't pleasant. For Ford, the project remained one of the few roles where he could not hide his dislike for a co-star. While Blade Runner became a cult classic, the emotional distance between these two stars was as real as it gets. Number 3. Shia LaBeouf. One of the most surprising names on this list is Shia LaBeouf. In Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008, Shia played Mutt Williams, Indiana Jones's son, opposite Harrison Ford. At first, the pairing seemed exciting, the old-school legend passing the torch to a new generation. But what followed shocked everyone. After the film's release, Shia publicly criticized the movie, and even Ford himself. In interviews, he called the film poorly made and implied Ford should have done better. This betrayal deeply angered Ford. Known for his loyalty to cast and crew, Ford saw Shia's remarks as ungrateful and unprofessional. He later responded with a sharp comment. He needs to shut up. What made this clash even more intense was that Ford had defended Shia during filming, treating him with respect despite their age difference. For Ford, the public disrespect felt like a slap in the face. He believed that if you work on a film, you stand by it, no matter the result. The fallout was permanent. Shia was never invited back to the franchise, and Ford made it clear he had no interest in working with him again. A promising partnership was ruined by one actor's loose tongue. Number 4. Alec Baldwin. Harrison Ford's dislike for Alec Baldwin did not come from sharing a film set. It came from behind the scenes, during a bitter battle over one iconic role, Jack Ryan. Baldwin originally played the character in The Hunt for Red October, 1990. When it came time for the sequel, Patriot Games, 1992, Baldwin was suddenly out, and Ford was in. What followed wasn't just a casting change, it was a quiet war. Baldwin publicly suggested that Ford schemed with studio executives to take the role behind his back. He hinted that Ford was more focused on money and control than the art of acting. These jabs did not sit well with Ford, who has always kept a professional image and avoids drama. According to Hollywood insiders, Ford was deeply offended and considered Baldwin's comments childish and arrogant. The tension never faded. While they never shared screen time, the bad blood was very real. Ford never responded directly in public, but those close to him say he made it clear he had no respect for Baldwin attitude. What shocked fans most was that Ford, who rarely engages in public feuds, seemed genuinely upset, proving that even off-screen, some rivalries cut deep. Number 5. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt and Harrison Ford, two Hollywood giants, shared the screen in The Devil's Own, 1997. A film that looked like a blockbuster on paper, but behind the camera, it became a power struggle that neither actor enjoyed. The clash wasn't about personality, it was about control. Both stars wanted the film done their way, and neither was willing to back down. According to reports, Ford was unhappy that the script kept changing to favor Pitt's character. He believed he was promised a balanced story, but Pitt's rising stardom was shifting the spotlight. Ford demanded changes, causing delays and tension. Pitt, in return, felt Ford was trying to dominate the project and slow things down. Their working relationship turned cold, and communication reportedly dropped to a minimum. The film's director later admitted it was one of the hardest projects he had ever worked on, calling it miserable. Fans were shocked to learn that the tension was so high because both actors were known for being professionals. But when two alpha stars want control, sparks fly. After the film, they never worked together again, and both avoided speaking about the experience. It was a quiet fallout, but a strong one that left no room for round two. Number 6. Ryan Gosling. In Blade Runner 2049, 2017, fans were thrilled to see Harrison Ford return as Rick Deckard, this time sharing the screen with Ryan Gosling. While the film received critical praise, behind the scenes, things were not as smooth as they appeared. Ford and Gosling were polite in public, but sources say there was an emotional distance between them, one that Ford could not ignore. Ford, known for his direct and practical approach to acting, reportedly found Gosling's method acting style too slow and overly serious. He felt that Gosling overthought simple scenes, wasting time and dragging the energy down. Though Ford did not express open anger, insiders noted his irritation during long shoots. He later joked about punching Gosling in a scene, but the humor hid real frustration. What surprised fans most was Ford's lack of enthusiasm for their collaboration. He praised the film, but rarely mentioned Gosling's performance. Gosling, on the other hand, called Ford a legend, but the mutual respect never turned into real chemistry. For Ford, working with Gosling may not have been a disaster, but it certainly was not enjoyable. In the end, it was a cold, distant partnership. Two stars orbiting the same set, but never truly meeting. Number 7. Peter Mayhew. While not true hatred, Harrison Ford often joked about his love-hate relationship with Peter Mayhew, the actor who played Chewbacca. Ford once said, "That walking carpet stole every scene." Their on-screen chemistry was legendary, but behind the scenes, Ford playfully teased Mayhew for getting laughs without saying a word. Though they were actually friends, Ford sometimes grew frustrated with the physical challenges of acting beside a towering Wookiee in a hot costume. It was all in good humor, but Ford's sarcastic remarks made it clear Chewbacca might have been his most lovable scene-stealing enemy in the entire Star Wars universe. Harrison Ford may be one of Hollywood's most legendary stars, but even legends have their limits. From on-set tension to public fallouts, these stories reveal the side of Ford most fans never see: a man who demands respect, hard work, and zero nonsense. Whether it was ego battles, lazy co-stars, or creative clashes, Ford did not hold back when things went wrong. Some actors made the cut, others made the blacklist. One thing clear: if you are sharing the screen with Harrison Ford, you better bring your A game. Love him or fear him, he has earned the right to choose who stands beside him.